going on, guys? This is Juice. I'm back. I know, it's been 6 years. My last show was February 5th, 2017, but you can't keep a good bully down. So I'm back, and I'm ready to tackle the show that we said we were going to do about 10 years ago. I'm finally ready for it. It took a lot to get to this point, but it's time to tackle all new Series 2, the Abomination, the series that all the Garbage Pail Kid fans from the 80s bought, and when they did, their jaws dropped. You know, they got Series 1 a little before this, and they were like, wow, look at that, the unreleased Series 16. Okay, these are pretty cool, not amazing, but hey, it's the original stuff, and that's all good because we have all new artists, we have some guys coming back, we have years of things that happen and ideas that they could use from the 90s, early 2000s, and we can get some amazing Garbage Pail Kids, so we're all excited for this. So let's see what all new Series 2 has to offer. And then we get to our first card, Peg Leg Greg and Justin Timberlake. Oh, wow, look at that. Justin Timberlake reference. Wow, they know what's going on today. But what are we looking at? This art is atrocious. I mean, it's not a horrible concept. Putting a hook through your nose, having a cracked out looking bird throwing up on your hand. I don't know why he has to throw up or why the guy has to have a runny nose as well. But okay, I guess the simplicity is over. We have a snot gag along with the hook through the nose, but what are we looking at? That is not a Garbage Pail Kid by any means. He doesn't look like a kid at all. Why is his eye patch sinking into his eye? What's happening here? Why is the art so flat and lifeless? I don't know. Then we get to a pretty good card, ARIEL and Bubbly Brianna. Okay, good idea. She blows a snot bubble and she took off. She's flying above the skyscrapers. Okay, not amazing, but nothing to really complain about. Art looks pretty good. It has some life to it. Kind of reminds me of Garbage Pail Kids from the 80s. Ethan and Jose Souffle. Not a bad concept. Kid gets eaten by a shark. Shark throws him up after he's caught and hung. There's the kid in pieces. But wow, the kid's face looks terrible. The art is flat and lifeless. You'll hear me say that about 10 times. The puke is like green. It looks like some kind of where the shark ate a garden or something when he was in the ocean. Like, what's happening here? Yeah, you don't know what to make of the artwork. I mean, the fact is, guys, I could spend an hour talking about the artwork and the fact that none of it's consistent. We could spend all day on that alone. Is that a thing? Didn't Garbage Pail Kids all look the same when we were growing up? And then they only changed in Series 10 after the lawsuit? Since when is it okay? Where's the quality control that none of these artists are on the same page? Why is that okay? That is probably the worst aspect. It's not just that they're so bad and that half the artists didn't know what they were doing, or a lot more than half didn't know what they were doing, and it looked like they drew it with a color pencil. None of it's the same. This is not even a uniform look. Are these Garbage Pail Kids or just anything gross? Where's the part where they're Cabbage Patch Kids doing gross things? Where is that? Because none of these look like it. Then you get to Unbiblical Corey and Unraveled Raphael. I don't even get what's happening here. I guess that's his umbilical cord for some reason still on him. They didn't snip it to become a belly button. Oh, don't worry, we'll get to another belly button joke later on if you feel like you're lacking those. So what's happening here? I know an umbilical cord is what gives you your nutrition when you're in the womb. But yeah, so is he sucking up that food with that thing, or is he spitting it out? It looks like he's spitting it out. Why would he spit it out? So he's eating and it's not getting chewed and it's going right to his stomach in whole food pieces and then out of the umbilical cord? What's happening here? Horrible concept. Who approved of this? Who looked at this and said, sure, let's add it to the legacy of Garbage Pail Kids? I don't know. Lost in Austin and Fat Chance. Great name. Yeah, another flat, lifeless artwork. I mean, it's not a terrible concept. A bunch of things get lost in this guy's folds of fat. Random things, people, cars, whatever. Yeah, it's a great idea. Seems funny. But yeah, I don't know. To accomplish this card, you have to draw him at a distance so you could take in everything. And I guess that kind of makes it seem weird, and the art of his face and there's no dimension to this, which you really need in a piece like this. You need that 3D look that John Pound used to do so well, and it's just not here. Then you get Leakin' Lee and Joustin' Josh. Oh, God. I hate piss humor and crap humor, too. I just don't think that's funny. But let's be objective here. So yeah, he looks, his face, I don't know what that face is. That's not a Garbage Pail Kid to me. That looks nothing like the cards I've been collecting since I was 5 years old. So there's a porta potty right there, but that's full of piss. And then, I don't know, he couldn't piss, so he just pissed in there, and the piss is coming out of the chinks in the armor. Okay, I guess that's, you know, I didn't think the piss jokes were funny in 1987 in my movie when Nat Nerd was pissing everywhere, and I don't think it's funny here. Then you got Game Over Gary and Jeremy. Wow, a Game Boy card, and what is this? Like, looks terrible, the art's terrible, the concept is like, when do you ever see a kid's face like that on your Game Boy? What game have you ever played that ever looked like that? And then it's gonna puke out at the guy, and it's that green puke. I guess we're going with the green motif now. On all the puke and snot is gonna be green. Yeah, I guess that's a thing. Luke Puke, I don't remember, I mean, his was like tannish, brownish, but yeah, I guess that's the new thing. That makes it pop more, I guess, to the guys doing the art evaluations. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't even look like he's playing a game. And that flat, lifeless artwork, it doesn't even look like he's actually holding anything but a piece of paper. Just terrible. Yeah, totally terrible. Then you get to a relief, a glimmer of hope in a dreary set so far with Skate Nate and Flying Ryan. I guess he farts and that propels him up the ramp. Okay, fine. The artwork looks great. Okay concept, I suppose. Nothing mind-boggling. Then you get Waxed ZACK and Max Wax. I mean, there's a million things wrong with this card. Just look at the perspectives are completely wrong. So he waxes his surfboard with earwax. I mean, look at his face, his body, everything is wrong with this. Then you got like the perspective of the waves. Why are they so high in the background? Those people behind him couldn't be more than 30 feet behind him. And that ship, if that was a real ship at that, and you could see it that closely on this wave, that ship would take up the entire background of the image. Like, none of this makes sense. I have no idea who drew this, what perspective we're looking at. It just is all over the place, terrible, flat, lifeless nonsense. But it couldn't be worse than Hook Brooke and Kate Bate. Oh my god. Unbelievable. I mean, the green water just throws everything off. I guess he's holding his breath, even though a hook went through his stomach and took out his heart, which is attached to his intestines. Like, what am I looking at? And what are these hands and feet? There's no hands. It's his arms that just branch off into fingers, and then his legs branch off into toes. There's no feet. There's no hands. What is this? Who approved of this? How does that look like anything we've been looking at for 15, 16 series? Then you got Bobble Bob and Will Wobble. Okay, bobblehead joke, throw it up. Okay, not a horrible idea, I guess. Again, the green puke. Yeah, I don't know. Just whatever. Then you got Bungie Benji and Extreme Xavier. There you go, another nice piece of art. Bungee jumping with his snot. I guess eventually it's gonna catch and bring him back up. I don't know. What What kind of idea is this? I think it's just like, do anything with snot. I don't know. Then you got a cool card, SCUZZY Ozzy and Rockin' Rick. Ozzy Osbourne, man. Everybody likes Ozzy. Check out his 2 albums with Randy Rhoads. That was some good stuff, man. That guy is, gone too soon. So it's cool to get an Ozzy card. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's okay. You got a ketchup bottle with teeth marks. I guess the vampire thought that was blood in there. You got a cool background, cool foreground. Ozzy, instead of biting the bat's head off, he's eating his ass or something. I don't know what's happening here. Yeah, I mean, it's good enough for what it is. I just wish Ozzy looked somewhat like a Garbage Pail Kid. But it's not as bad as SCARIN Aaron and Corny Cody. I mean, good lord. Do we even have to talk about the million things that are wrong with this? Can we start with the artwork? I mean, all you gotta do is put a card of Rutherford B. Hay next to this, and you'll see Stuff Steven. You'll see exactly the difference between Stuff Steve and Rutherford B. Hay to this. I mean, look at these two compared to each other. Lifeless, flat, terrible 5-year-old drawing compared to a masterpiece of John Pound. Crow crap covering every single inch of his body and face and hat. Like, what is this? Is this something somebody would find funny? Because I don't know. Another thing I don't find funny, Skid Mark and Track and Travis. Now listen, the concept is pretty funny. The kid had diarrhea and it streaked all the way down, but that looks like a solid leavings that streaked all the way down. I don't like crap humor. It kind of grosses me out. But yeah, I get it. It's pretty funny. The background's funny. The kid's jumping off, running away. It's a decent idea if you're into that kind of thing. Not what I was hoping for when I heard about All New Series 2. Then you get Dandruff Dan and Jake Flake. So yeah, this is a strange card. Garbage Pail Teenager. I don't know what he's wearing. That jacket, that scarf, those gloves, that clash with the board and background and green. And so I guess it's springtime, but he has so much dandruff in his hair that he don't even need snow. He can make it snow. Like for every few feet he keeps going down the hill. I don't know. Even the bear, look at that bear. I think it's just as confused as we are as to why this was made. I mean, I get the concept, but yeah, I don't know. I think this is a fail. But not as bad as Disgrace and Amped Amanda. What are we looking at? This was the first jaw-dropping card for me. I looked at this and I was totally dumbfounded. Like, what is even happening here? Let's ignore the lifeless flat art of this one and the terrible clothing choice she has on and the colors of everything that's wrong. Let's go to, so she has a dish on her head, a cable coming out of her ear into the TV, and she's watching it. So what's happening here? Is it her thoughts that are going into the TV? Is that why it's at it? Because wouldn't a satellite dish be on a pole? And then it would just go right to the TV. So what's the difference? Is it her thoughts? But if it's her thoughts, then why is there a satellite dish? It has to be getting a signal, and that has to be what we're watching, right? But why is it going through her? I don't know. I don't get it. How is this a thing? How is this funny? I'm lost. So you got Taylor Tubby and Morgan Organ. Yeah, I get it. There was a Teletubby that had like the stomach showing or something, and he's ripping his guts out and showing all the food inside. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Doesn't look anything like a Garbage Pail Kid. This is not a Garbage Pail Kid version of a Teletubby at all. I don't know what it really is. I'm lost. Then you got another side relief with Spider-Man-y Webby Wesley. This looks like a classic Garbage Pail Kid. So they basically just knew Spider-Man was popular with the Tobey Maguire movies and said, well, let's do that. But we gotta have some gag in there. Well, we gotta pick from one of the four: piss, crap, snot, or puke. So we'll go with snot. And instead of shooting webs out, he just snots a line of snot and swings from that. Okay. So then you got Number One and Tinkling Tyler. Again, a Garbage Pail Teenager or something. I don't know what this is. He looks terrible. These face shapes. I like how the good ones have like the nice round, like Spider-Man-y, the nice round faces. And the really terrible ones have these like pineapple looking heads. I don't know what's going on. So what? He's pissing and What, he's pissing for so long that he just decides to start drawing stuff, and then it's so amazing it's the Mona Lisa? That's the gag? Does anybody care about this, or did anybody want something like this? Then you got Nicole Mole and Wardy Courtney. So I usually like Garbage Pail Kids, like inanimate object Garbage Pail Kids, or ones that are like just pieces of somebody or whatever the case. Like, I don't mind that. But this, like, oh my god, look at this art. Look how lifeless this is. The guy looks so gross, and then the wart doesn't look whatever. And of course there's snot coming out of his nose. There's puke coming out of his mouth, I guess. I don't know. I'm lost. I don't know, because I don't know what these colors are. Is that spit or puke? I don't know. Then you got Handy Hannah and Mary Mucus. So we have snot puppets now? Like, is that where we're going? Like, we just ran out of stuff? We had a legendary card like Messy Tessie, and that was great. Okay, good. You gotta have a Garbage Pail Kid doing everything. We have a legendary one with snot, iconic card. And, you know, we've done the thing where, like, it's ropes and it's webs in the girl's hand and everything else in the later series. And now we moved on to snot puppets. So we'll just go all the way with this. And that's what this is. And, yeah, I mean, again, she looks terrible. Lifeless, flat card. Ugh. Then you got Downloadin' Logan and Digital Devon. Okay, so commentary on computers, because they're coming around. You know, it's been 5 years, 6 years that we've been using computers for internet and all that. So, you know, let's do downloading stuff. Okay, and that's our idea. Total toilet humor. I'm glad that there's a clear bowl that you could see the crap and diarrhea floating in. That's great, because that's what we really wanted, a see-through toilet bowl. That's what we've been dying for this whole time. I'm glad he has the consideration to have toilet paper with him. Harry Henry. Yeah, so I don't know what. So this kid walks into the barber shop. I assume he was a normal kid, and then the guy sat him down in the chair, and then he got his stuff, and when he turned around, the kid went through his wolf transformation and wolfed out, and the barber was in shock and is dropping his tools. Yeah, that's a lot for a child to process. So the kid has to think of all that. Like, otherwise, if he was a werewolf the whole time, then why would the guy be shocked by the time he got in the chair? Wouldn't he have already walked into the barber shop and said, "Hi, I'm here, I have an appointment," whatever? Wouldn't they have talked and interacted before? Why would it be shocked at this point of the game? Yeah, I don't know. Cookie Tosser Tessa, Crummy Kim. The colors are just dreadful. All those black cookies and her face and hair and the outfit she's wearing. Again, doesn't look like a Garbage Pail Kid. It looks like somewhere in the 11-year-old range. I don't know. Again, the ages never mattered. We had Wrinkling Rita, and it was what it was. But I don't know. They just all kind of looked the same, but just they fit whatever they were doing. I don't know what they can't accomplish now with that. Piranha Connor and Sean Gunn. This is a good concept. Blue skies, green water. Piranha's eating half of them. I guess it ate his penis already, just like in that Piranha remake. They got water coming out of his... Oh, the fish jumped through his head, I guess. I get that you want to do a card of piranhas eating somebody. I'm not sure this was the greatest way to go about it. Scabby Abby and Krusty Chris. Yeah, pretty gross. At least you gotta be happy about the artwork, considering this series. So he just keeps peeling scabs over and over again and eating them endlessly. How did he get all those cuts and bruises and whatever to begin with? We need like a whole like autobiography on this guy. Like, why are you so messed up that you have so many scabs? What's happening here? Then you have every 80s kid's dream come true. Wow, they finally made an Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator card. Amazing, right? No, it's not. It's not amazing. This is atrocious. His face is god-awful. That tooth sticking out, the blonde hair, the water guns. It is just a nightmare. Even his whole outfit looks terrible. I was so disappointed. You know, you'd be so happy to hear there's a Terminator Garbage Pail Kid coming out, and that's what you got. But it's not as bad as Gassy Garrett and Frizzy Francisco. this big pineapple head kid eating beans and farting in water and killing fish. Like, again, just like that other waxed surfboard card, the perspectives are terrible here. Why is that ship so small? You could see it's not even that far away. That would be ginormous, especially the distance of that shark compared to that, or that fish compared to that ship. How is a ship that small? It doesn't make any sense. The card is just a dumb concept. Whatever. But it nowhere near compares to Lippy, Laura, and Alyssa Kisser. I really hope that this person does not work in the industry anymore. This artist and the one who did Oscar La Vista, neither one of them should be working in the industry. They should have been fired, and they should be punching a time clock in some factory or working in some company like every other schlub out there. They do not deserve to be living their dream. They do not know how to draw or paint or whatever they did to make these come true. These are atrocious. This girl's face, these colors, everything, the strokes, everything about this. Look at that left arm holding that lipstick. Why is that left arm look so big compared to the... Like, what is happening here? This is just a nightmare come true. I cannot believe this is a real Garbage Pail Kid. I cannot believe that logo is floating above that head. This is atrocious. Then you got Linty, Lindsay, and Bailey Button, the other belly button joke I was telling you about. Yeah, how funny, right, guys? There's so much lint in that belly button that you can pull a teddy bear out of it. Oh, and by the way, in case that wasn't funny enough, he's throwing up too. And look at him. Look at his body. Look at his face. Dreadful. The joke, yeah, there's enough lint in your belly button to stuff a teddy bear. Yeah, I don't think we need to see that come to fruition in a card. Thanks. Then you got Hecklin' Hector and Newsworthy Nick. I guess the O'Reilly factor was a big thing at the time. Or we're just doing politics now. So the O'Reilly factor, yeah, kids love that. They love that show. So what are we watching? He bashes Garbage Pail Kids, calling them a threat to America, and they puke through the TV onto... Oh, God. Then you got Car Sick Caroline and Icky Vicky. Okay, not the worst concept. Okay. Kid gets sick, pukes out of the car window. Baby brother has the window open back there, and it goes onto his face. Okay, yeah. That's fine. If I didn't see like 8 puke gags already, it would punch a little harder, but no, it is what it is. You can't complain considering you're in all new series too. Then you got Toe Jam Sam and Jam and Amber. Good God. What are we looking at? This is a person who should never work in Garbage Pail Kid or Tops again. Whoever thought of this or drew this or the concept or whatever the case, this person does not belong in this industry. These giant feet, they're not giant feet, right? Because that's just our perspective. Like, her face and body are up against the counter and her feet are more towards us. So they're trying to do perspective here. But yeah, the sandwich and the jam doesn't match with the perspective at all. It's just the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh, until now. Hayden Go Seek and Timid Tim. Wow. Is this where we're at? We're in Series 2. Figuratively, the first series you had to come up with ideas since 1980, 7 or 8? This is one of the ideas you came up with? A kid's playing hide and go seek, spots a turtle, and somehow lodges himself into the shell, and the turtle's annoyed? That is what a kid is supposed to chuckle at? Or that any kid like our age, 20-year-old at the time, is supposed to get nostalgic over? That's your idea. Then you got Pikachu Dorky Don. Okay, I guess these things were big at the time. Pokemon cards or whatever this is. I don't even know. Is that what that is? Actually would have been a cooler card if they actually mixed it up for once. And the Pikachu sneeze and Dorky Don, the mask snapped back and all the snot and puke or whatever is coming out of his mouth splattered into his face because the mask snapped back. They could have done like a unique card for once and something totally different, but no. Rest Stop Rust and Wet Brat. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm looking at here. Again, I hate piss gags, but what are we looking at? This kid is in a car and he has to piss and he can't get out for whatever reason. Like, there's no traffic. Like, why not have him stuck in traffic? And he's in the middle of nowhere and he can't piss anywhere, so he pisses in the car. And that's why he does that. But why would a kid in a diaper be driving anyway? So I guess the dad is in the fish store right there, and the dad's taking so long, so the kid just starts pissing that much? I mean, how long does it take to buy a fish? How could he piss that much while the dad's in the fish store? I just don't even understand what this concept is, what we're watching, who came up with this, how it's a thing. I don't know. Torn Tori and Tieran Aaron. I was so offended that this was a Garbage Pail Kid when it came out. I couldn't believe that logo was floating above this image. I was so angry. Thank God they're blocking most of the logo, because it doesn't even deserve to have that logo on these cards. That is a total slap in the face to Garbage Pail Kids. Like, look at them. Look at the artwork, the flat, lifeless artwork on these cards, on these characters. And look at Messy Tessie. Look how beautiful Messy Tessie is. Now, I pointed her out again because she's wearing almost the same thing as these two girls here. And look at the difference in quality and craftsmanship of the art compared to this. Can you imagine that someone looked at that and approved of that and said, yep, that artwork is of the quality of the legacy of Garbage Pail Kids. Nobody will have a problem with that. These two girls Siamese twins pulling their bodies apart to grab a toy off a shelf somehow could look so lifeless. And then, like, everything's, like, monotone except for the dolls they are grabbing. Because, we're too stupid. We wouldn't be able to put it together that they were grabbing those particular dolls without everything else being color drained. We need those to stick out to get it. Deflated David and Squirt and Steven. You could hardly even be mad at this one at this point. So this kid has a bunch of pimples, warts, whatever, craters in him, and he squeezed one of them out, and so much pus came out that his brain came out with it. I mean, at this point, are you really going to complain? At least the art is somewhat recognizable as a Garbage Pail Kid, right? I mean, you did see the last card, right? I hardly can say there's a problem with this. And then we get the last one, thank God. Thank God I'm at the end of this. Lisa Loser and Marooned Marissa. Yeah, so Survivor is real popular now. I'm sure the kids will love this. So instead of just being sent home from the island, we'll just push them out into the middle of the ocean to kill them. Because no one's going to save them. Look at her. She has no weight to her body. She's so skinny. She looks like she's 90 years old. Beautiful image, though. Beautiful sky, volcanoes. The people on the island, the lighting that comes all the way down to where she is, the water, it's all looks really nice. I don't think she looks particularly great, but yeah, I mean, I guess that's a Garbage Pail Kid. Okay. So yeah, finally, that was it. All new Series 2. Good Lord. I went through every single one of them. I know we've been waiting a long time to do this. Have not put out a show since February 5th, 2017, when I did the Armageddon set. I am so glad I stopped collecting Garbage Pail Kids. I'm so mad that I even collected all new series, or brand new series, 1 through whatever it was, and then all this like weird stuff, back to school, rocking this, whatever. Like, I did it a couple times, and then I have not collected for about 6 years now, I think. So I'm so happy I stopped, because I realized all I really love is the OG cards, and everything else is a waste of money. Now listen, anytime they make a product of something I like those trashy treasures and all that stuff, I love those things. I think they're awesome, because they're all the original characters, things I actually like. Whenever they do things that do bring back, like even those vinyl ones or whatever, anytime it's like the OG Garbage Pail Kids, I'm usually down for it, unless it's just obviously trying to get my money, then I don't even buy that either. And things like that, things that are reminiscent of old school, like those lunch boxes I bought and things like that. But even that kind of stuff, I'm really not even doing anything else anymore. I'm so done. saving my money. I'm happy with what I got. I don't want 50,000 Trapper Keepers of Garbage Pail Kids that I'll never look at. I don't even know why. You know, the reason I kept buying all the all-new series, I never really liked them. Never. I'm looking through them now, like all the rest of them. Series 3, Series 4, whatever. One time I made a video. I posted all the good ones out of the first 7 all-new series or something like that. I did that, and you saw how little I liked. I mean, these just aren't good. Let's stop pretending. They're just not bringing. They never did anything that we felt as a kid that special. The only people who like these cards are the young collectors that were young when the all-new series came out, because they're impressionable. And then they got those, and then they rediscovered the old ones, and it all kind of blends together for them. For us, it's like, oh my God. And we were just having it and buying it just to buy it. And I'm done, and I'm so happy I'm done. Yeah, maybe I'll get this GPK Radio thing going again. I'm sure there's more to do. I'd like to do more positive stuff. I know this was a trash fest. I didn't want to just come on and be negative, but I'm in a Garbage Pail Kid mode right now. I just got my Series 5 Trashy Treasures that I got totally ripped off on eBay because I did not know they came out. There's no alerts telling you these things are coming out and to pre-order them or to do whatever. I missed them this time. I bought Trashy Treasure Series 1 through 4. I love all those things. They're very simplistic. It reminds me of stuff that would have came out in the 80s. I know that you expect things to look better now because of what NECA is doing with like the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie or what they did with the 87 cartoon of the Turtles. So, you know, things could look amazing. They probably could look like they do from the card or whatever, but I don't know. The simplicity of them kind of reminds me of what would have happened if they came out in the 80s, so I'm kind of okay with them. So I'd like to come back and do a more positive review. I know people like to hear things get ripped apart sometimes, but yeah, I'm not trying to do that. I know I went pretty hard on the Adam Geddon set, you know, that 52-minute rant. I think we just had to address all new Series 2. I wanted to do it for so long. You know, I stopped doing Garbage Pail Kid, GPK Radio for the Skeleton Crew Horror Podcast. I went on to that. So I didn't have time to do both, and that one really kind of blew up and gained a huge following, so I kind of went with that. And when I was doing so much work and putting so much work into these, you know, I did 19 episodes before I really stopped. I realized that people who are making videos of them opening packages of Garbage Pail Kids were getting 100 times the views I was. So they're just sitting there opening a pack of cards, and you guys are that interested in it that you'd watch. But someone puts like 11 hours into a video and it gets like 300 views. Yeah, no, I said I was done. And again, this isn't against you guys. If you're listening now, that means you're the ones who did care. But, you know, there comes a time when you can put so much time into something, and if the ball never gets rolling, if things don't pick up, you're kind of like, screw it. You tried, but I guess nobody was having it. So you just kind of stop doing it, you know? You get a little bitter, a little angry, and you feel like you're wasting your time, and this community is not what you thought it was. They're just a bunch of, like, you know, soulless people who watch videos of nonsense rather than creations that people actually put time and effort into. And if that's what you want to do, then have fun with that. Adios, arrivederci. So yeah, that's what I did, and the Skeleton Crew really paid off. It was very rewarding to do that podcast, and we even brought it back recently, so we're still doing new shows now. But yeah, I left in 2012 to do that, long time ago. But I always look fondly on the GPK Radio days. I always appreciate all your feedback, always appreciated all that stuff. Had fun doing it. Sometimes I look at the videos and I cannot believe all the effort I put into it. I was insane, which is more reason it should have caught on, but whatever. Hey, listen, it is what it is, and you can't change things. So anyway, I'm happy to have done it. Maybe I'll look back and watch my old shows and reminisce, because that was good times, and I would like to check out what went on at the time. So guys, just remember, if you ever see teenagers, even if it's in the broad daylight, you could kick their asses, throw them in puddles of mud. It's cool to do. Actually, don't do it. Have your people do it. The people that you you tell what to do, like Wally and Blythe. They do the dirty work for me, and Tangerine just watches as I tell these people what to do and how to do it, and then I take off with her and I do my thing. So always kick ass, and I'll catch you guys later.
Would we lie to you? SCUZZY OZZY of Concord, Massachusetts ate 238 bats. And as a result, he was banned from attending all Major League Baseball games. Contrary to general belief, cats do not have 9 lives. They just have better medical coverage than we do. French toast can only be made using toasters manufactured in France.
GPKUG.com for the very best in Garbage Pail Kid discussion. GPK World, Bear and Aaron's Garbage Pail Kid World. GEEPEEKAY.com. K4FGloves.com for the very best Freddy Krueger or Slasher Asher replica gloves. Crystal Lake After Dark.proboards.com for the very best in Friday the 13th discussion since 2004. Garbage Pail Kids Radio on Facebook. Join tonight for all the news on every show.